Hello everyone, how are you all doing? Now, I wanted to do a video talking about how compulsions played a big part in my life from a very young age. Now, I think this is an important video to do because although the suffering got really bad for me when I was around 18, I could tell when I look back at my teenage years, at my child years, that there was behaviours in place where OCD was playing a part. Looking back now, it really tells to me. So I just want to run through a few examples of what I would do, a few compulsions I would do, just little things that, just unusual behaviours, just as to link it to the OCD cycle. So maybe trying to get relief, or maybe, I'll go into some examples of what I mean by that. Okay, and the first thing I want to do, I did a post in the WhatsApp group a couple of weeks ago now, I think it was, and I think it's on Rob's page, OCD Recovery com on Instagram. And there's a picture of me in my cricket whites. Anyone doesn't know what that is? I used to play cricket, and when you play cricket, you wear white, so you wear all white. And I think I was about 13 in this picture, 12 to 13, I think. And this is where you can really see OCD was playing a part, because my lips are sealed shut. I'm going to show you the photo right now. And this was because I was scared of saying a thought out loud. So even at 12 and 13, I was getting bombarded by intrusive thoughts. So the last thing you want to come in, it was coming in. I remember like someone's family member had died, and I just had the name stuck in my head over and over again. So I sealed my lips shut just to make sure, because it was a team photograph. So I sealed my lips shut just to make sure that I didn't shout it out loud. And I remember people asking, saying, "Sam, why is your lips sealed shut?" And I'd say, "Oh yeah, because I'm holding in a sneeze," and just used to say things like that. But yeah, I was petrified even at that age. Let me show you now. So I think you can see that. So there I'm in my cricket whites with my mouth sealed shut. And I remember I remember that photo being taken, and I hadn't seen it for years, and I suddenly stumbled across it and I thought, wow, that really shows. We just won a cricket final. Everyone was really happy, and I'm feeling anxious as well. I'm feeling quite anxious. I just felt a bit unusual, saying, why can't I get this name out of my head? Why does it feel the urge just to shout out someone's name all the time, all day long? That's how it felt. So yeah, I mean, when we were celebrating then, it was like I was just sort of stood in the corner, and just, yeah, even at that age, I just felt really weird. I just felt, why can't I shift this? Why can't it go? Why can't it just budge? And that, yeah, I think that was 13 years old. So that's just one example of many compulsions that I did. I remember one I used to do, and this is when I used to walk to school, secondary school in the UK, we call it. So I was probably around, well, between 11 to 15, and I used to, as I was walking to school, I used to sing, right? I know it sounds crazy, but I used to sing song lyrics, okay? Now, the reason I used to do that is because, like I said, the intrusive thoughts were getting more and more. Last thought you want would be there on a loop, constant loop. And I remember I used to say the same song. I used to say the lyrics over and over again, because it was a way of neutralising the thought. It was a way of getting rid of an unwanted intrusive thought. So if anyone in the houses, as I was walking past, thinking, why did this guy sing the same song every morning? And every time he's walking home from school, why does he sing the same song? But that's what it would have been like. And I just said, oh yeah, because I love the song. Because I used to walk to school with people as well, with friends. And they were like, why are you humming the same song? And I got into that cycle, that ritual, if you wish. And yeah, that was from a very young age. And you could just tell. Then I just thought, well, this is a bit strange. I sort of pretended it was normal in a way. Yeah, I get this. I didn't say I had thoughts in my head at the time, but I said, yeah, I just like the song. But I didn't think anything of it then. I just thought, I didn't know anything different, did I? So hence why I used to do that. But yeah, definitely a lot of neutralising the thought, just sort of saying random words out loud. I almost compared it to like mental Tourette's, because it was like, don't think of this thought. Let's say I was in a class at school, and it'll be maybe swear words in my head over and over again, or maybe we were having religious studies and it was something offensive to God, so I was saying that over and over again in my head. And so I used to say just random words, just completely random, to neutralise the thought. So like spaghetti bolognese. Not like loud, but just sort of saying it to myself. It sounds really strange looking back now, but you can tell an OCD sufferer at a very young age, because that was just to get any kind of rid of the unwanted thought, or rid of the unwanted feeling, or just how scary it felt. It just felt like I had no control over what my brain was chucking in. So yeah, just neutralising and yeah, just trying to trying to find a way to get rid. That's what I was doing a lot. Obviously, I didn't have a clue what OCD was back then. I just thought it was the norm. I remember doing a lot of checking the lights. You know, the stereotypical OCD. Locks. Is the car locked? Is the house locked? Before I used to go on holiday with my family, lots of checking over and over again. Did I shut the door? Did I shut the bathroom door? Did I shut the bedroom door? Checking things like that. Didn't cause a big problem, but there was a lot of checking going on. You can tell a lot of OCD behaviours. Checking the oven, and leave the microwave on, passports. Yeah, it's crazy now looking back, but I think it's important to cover because, like I've said, OCD doesn't just hit you in one go and you've never had it before. I tend to, well, it can do, of course it can do, but with me, it could tell it was building up for a young age, and then when I got to 18, it just boom, just hit me for 6. This is a good one because this is a very important one because I used to analyse a lot. Now, as OCD sufferers, we analyse, we overthink, we replay things, and we try and get certainty. We try and figure things out in our head, right? Now, I remember my parents saying to me, Sam, look, just stop analysing, stop trying to figure everything out. And that was just small things. Like, I'd go into so much intricate detail into things in my head, and they go, look, Sam, it's really not that deep. Or it doesn't really matter, Sam. I remember getting told that a lot because I'd go into the nth degree of why that was the case. How did that happen? And obviously when OCD got bad, when OCD got severe, it was replaying the past. It was scanning the past and over again, trying to find something that maybe I've done wrong, maybe I've acted immorally, maybe I said something I shouldn't, maybe I offended someone. So you can tell the analysing there was from a very, very young age. Just an example, I love football, right? I remember from a young age, I was analysing like football tactics, football techniques, like watching like highlights over and over again and analysing it. Just those small things there. How felt completely harmless at the time, but you could see how that was going to play a big part later on in my life. Yeah, so the mouth sealed shut. What's that picture I showed you? That's just an example. It's a great picture to show how it worked. But I used to do that a lot, sealing the mouth shut. One thing I used to do, walking past like CCTV cameras, I was like this. Because I thought it could read my mind. I thought I could say something out loud, and if a CCTV camera picked it up, I'd go to jail, I'd be rejected, or I'd be seen as strange, or seen as weird, or societal outcast. So yeah, that was the same as like walking to school from the ages of 15, 16, 17, out with friends, sealing my lips shut. Yeah, that was a big one. Just sort of nodding along. And you think, if that got a big problem, I could have been at a stage where I couldn't even speak because any thought was coming in all the time. I could get to a stage where I couldn't even speak. But then I remember feeling very anxious at sort of 15, 16, 17 because, oh my God, what if you said something? What if you have said a thought out loud? And I used to avoid walks, avoid paths, avoid routes where there was a camera. Or maybe just, remember, this is a funny one. I remember a Google camera. So if you look at a Google Street View, right, Google Maps, right, and there's a car that drives along with a camera on the car. And I remember the car driving past me once, and I was like this, but to make sure they didn't pick it up, or make sure I didn't say a thought out loud, to make sure I didn't read my mind. And it was absolutely crazy. I get it's completely crazy looking at it now, but this is how, from a very young age, how it was playing such a big part. You know, I was caught up in my head from those kind of ages. So yeah, mouth sealed shut, just sort of, yeah, I used to go like that a lot, like cover my mouth a lot and things, and I'll just be like that. So I wasn't going to say it out loud. Yeah, wow, happened a lot. Other compulsions that I did, avoiding places where there was no toilet, where there was no bathroom, because there's a big fear of mine from a young age was maybe wetting myself or pooing myself. I had that fear, and so that was from the sort of school ages. I remember playing football a couple of times, and obviously when you're running around on a football pitch, there's no toilet. And I remember then dreading playing football, going, oh my God, what if I'm halfway through the game and I need to run off for a toilet? Because at school it was seen that, obviously I know how irrational school is, and sort of what my friends used to say and what we used to say, like if you went to toilet at school, people would laugh at you, people would make a joke, people would mock you, kind of thing. And so I used to avoid going to the toilet, and then I used to dread going to school because, oh my God, what if I need to run to the bathroom and I can't go because people laugh at me? Fear of rejection, things like that. Okay, I'm getting on school buses, getting on coaches, getting on any train where maybe I couldn't get to the toilet. Maybe this wasn't just younger age, this affected sort of as I got a bit older as well, because fear of shitting myself, or fear of getting humiliation in public, or fear of not being able to go to a toilet, things like that. But that was played a big part. I remember long car journeys I used to dread. Any time where there wasn't a toilet at hand, like going out shopping, oh my God, what if I can't find a toilet? Being at football matches, or what if I can't get to the toilet, things like that. Any sort of busy places where there's lots of queuing going on, that used to trigger me quite a bit because of that fear. And just smaller rituals like certain numbers. I did a lot of blinking. Like when I say blinking, I'm thinking, I remember I used to be a passenger, obviously my parents were driving, and I'd be blinking a certain amount of times just to get some sort of relief, or just to feel like that just right feeling. Same as when you're walking along a path, sort of missing steps out to get that just right feeling. It's a stereotypical classical OCD stuff that you'd hear on the news and things like that. So obviously that plays a part, of course. It's mild, but obviously as you get older, it got very more severe, more chronic, and it completely debilitated my whole life. I couldn't even function. But these were the smaller kind of behaviours that I used to do. Repeating sentences over and over again, because I thought if I didn't repeat this, then maybe a family member would die, or maybe my football team would lose, even though that didn't work because they were losing every week. Maybe just something bad would happen. Maybe I'd get ill. Maybe I'd fail my school exams. Anything. Maybe I'd fall over whilst I'm running in the cross-country race. Anything. So to repeat stuff over and over again, like mantras in my head. Just reassurance in my head, but I thought that was relief. And because I didn't have a clue what it was, obviously I didn't seek help for it. I was very, very young at the time, between the ages of 11 to 15, 16, when this was going on. And then, like I said, when I got to 17, 18, 19, my life just seemed to come crumbling down, where OCD just sort of raised its game. It was like, right, I'm in control now, and everything was OCD. The guilt, the anxiety, the shame, the panic, the depression. So these behaviours felt nothing, because it got really into the analysing the past, constant rumination, exhausting, tiring rumination over and over and over again, painful rumination, headaches and chronic fatigue, intrusive thoughts, chronic anxiety, looking through a life where my whole life was just looking for a filter with guilt and anxiety. If only they knew this. If only they knew I had this thought then. If only they knew I had this name or this image in my head 24/7. So that is when OCD really ramped up, with the guilt and oh my God, how can you live adult life with this and blah, blah, blah. So I think that's a very good insight into how OCD plays a part in our younger ages, and in our younger years, and our younger life. You can tell it just gradual build up. And I'm sure you can relate to a lot of this. There's so many more behaviours. These are the things I thought of before this video. There'll be many behaviours like that. I like doing this because it just shows you how it operates, right? Obviously now we know much more about OCD, and OCD is coming out of the dark. It's much more understood. There'd be advice that if you're a parent maybe and you feel like your child's suffering with OCD, then these are the sort of behaviours to look out for. To see, or maybe it's affecting them a lot, maybe they're struggling to function because of it, and you can tell that, oh, that's OCD, and then you can seek the relative help. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like. If you're interested in our one-to-one services, our webinar services, our coaching services, please email phil@ocdrecovery.com. After this video, well, when I stop talking, a screen will come up with a WhatsApp number, which you can email, and you get in touch with me or one of our coaches, and we can set you up for one-to-one calls, because they're so good, because they're tailored approach. Anything you're dealing with, you've got the customized approach, and you've got the recovery plan of how to get better and overcome OCD. So until next time, we'll speak again. Bye-bye.